Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm listening to 100 albums in 100 days. For all the details on what I'm doing and why, check out my video pinned in my profile. Today I listened to the 1981 album Tonight I'm Yours from Rod Stewart. Now, the only previous experience I've had with Rod Stewart album-wise is I've listened to his Christmas album many times over the past couple of years. I think it came out maybe 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that. I don't remember. But it's a damn good Christmas album. He does a version of Auld Lang Syne, and it'll bring you to tears. But anyway, beyond that album, my experience with Rod Stewart is just the singles that I heard on the radio and saw on MTV when I was a teenager in the 80s. Stuff like Infatuation, Some Guys Have All the Luck, Forever Young. And my favorite Rod Stewart song is Young Turks, which is on this album. Young Turks is one of the first videos that I ever saw, not even on MTV. When I was a kid, we got a TV station out of Kansas City, and every weeknight, from 8:30 to 9, they had a video show, and would show music videos. And I remember, this is one of the first videos I remember seeing on that show. We didn't even have MTV yet in my house, and so this was the only way I could watch videos when I was at home. And Young Turks is one of the first videos I remember seeing. So it's always been one of my favorite songs from the 80s overall. But it's my favorite Rod Stewart song, that and Maggie May. So this album has a little bit of everything for just about everybody. He covers a rockabilly song and does it really well. He kind of gets into synth pop a little bit. Not heavy synth pop, but there's a lot of synth. There's some synth in a couple of songs, the title track and in Young Turks. He has a song that he co-wrote with Bernie Taupin of Elton John fame, and it's a big song. It's got a gospel choir in it, and it's just a grand song to end the album with. It's really good. He also covers a Bob Dylan song. He covers a song written and performed by Paul Carrack, who you've heard with Mike and the Mechanics and with Squeeze, and it's a song called How Long, which he doesn't do quite the job that Paul Carrack does. Paul Carrack is one of my favorite 80s voices, just because he just has a tremendously beautiful voice, buttery smooth, really high range. He can just sing. I could listen to him sing a recipe. Anyway, he covers a song from Paul Carrack. Then he just has a couple of rock songs, which is the pocket he likes to sit in. He has a great rock voice. I've always thought that. Even now that he's older, he's more of a crooner. In the 80s, 70s, and 80s, that dude could sing. Rod Stewart just has one of the great rock voices from any generation. So besides Young Turks being my favorite, my next favorite on the album would probably be one of the rock songs. It's called Tora, Tora, Tora. And it just sounds like the kind of song you would hear a bar band playing at late night and getting the crowd going. It's that kind of a rock song. It just starts off strong and it never slows down. So that's a great song. Overall, it's a great album. There were a couple of songs that towards the end of the songs I kind of okay, let's just go to the next song. But that's that can happen to any album. Overall, though, it's a really strong album. Makes me want to check out some more of his catalog. This is his 11th album. It's only 81, and I think he probably has 4 or 5 more albums after this. So I mean, the dude has a huge catalog. It makes me want to check out some of the other stuff. Like when I listened to the Grateful Dead early on the list, somebody commented and said, take it easy when you jump into their catalog. It's so huge, you just got to take your time and find something. And I think that's probably what his catalog will be like too. So if you're a Rod Stewart fan, tell me what the next album is I need to listen to. And if you have never heard this album, it is definitely worth your time. So give it a listen and let me know what you think.